Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to Dalal Street Week Ahead program sponsored by Delta.exchange. I'm at my house, so my camera is still not ready. It will take another 1 or 2 days. So post-market I do from my office, pre-market I do from my home. So maybe another 1 or 2 days I will have to do only the audio. By Wednesday, everything should be ready. Coming back to market. So last week, there were some few interesting data. Number one, the previous week, Nifty fell continuously for 6 weeks. And last week was the 7th week, but last week it has not closed in negative territory. So that was broken. So far in Indian stock markets, so Nifty closed negative for 6 continuous weeks, only 2 times in the last 20 years. Once in 2013 and once in 2018. And this is the third time Nifty closed for 6 continuous weeks. But last week, so that was turned around. So it's good that we have not made a history by falling for the 7th week. And however, we can say that the too much negativity has gone, but as of now, there is no positivity also. Like though Nifty did not close below last week close, but it is not closed above last week high also. So we can say this is just a consolidation. Some trigger is required to move the market higher. And second one, FIIs holding about 92% short position in index futures. So this is also, if I'm not wrong, there is a record in Indian industry. Sometimes when there is some news, some binary events, for a temporary period, they used to have this kind of short position, that to about 85 to 90% only. But 92% consistently without any event. So this is a record. And the third one, last October, FIA started selling. They sold continuously for a few months. Then later, continuously they bought for about 4 months. But while selling, they sold very aggressively. But while buying, they did not buy aggressively. And once again, in the month of July, they started selling. From July 1 until now, they've sold for more than 70,000 crore. And it is a non-stop. So if you can remember, maybe I can come out with a separate video, interesting video, what the government should do. Earlier in 2019, we had a similar situation. There was a huge bearishness among FIIs, both in cash market and F&O market. So that is the time, the government wanted to give some shock therapy. So the government reduced the corporate tax from 30% to 22%. Although Arun Jaitley promised to bring down from 30% to 25% over a period of 5 years, but he has not done. But in one stroke, it was reduced from 30% to 22%. So probably now the government is thinking the same kind of shock therapy it must be given to these GST rates. So the people have been demanding a reduction in GST. The people have been complaining, a lot of things about GST. Say, for example, carbonated drinks and tobacco products, they are considered as a sin goods. So they are being charged at 45% GST rate, 28% plus 17% cess. But then having a car, is that a sin? Why the car, like SUVs, they have to pay 50% GST, 28% plus GST plus 22% cess. So, there were irrational taxes, the people all have been complaining. But now the government is thinking of reducing the GST. So probably as a response to this total bearishness by these FIIs. So that's why I give you the analogy, like in 2019 also the same thing only was done. So if any such thing happens, that can potentially turn the sentiment around. But only the difference between last time and this time, last time there was no indication. Just they called a press meet on Friday morning. They just announced it. But now that is not the case. They're saying, after Deepavali we will do it. So Deepavali is sometimes in November. And so this is only August. So there's a 3 months window is there. So why should they announce 3 months in advance? So probably, that is an indication that they are giving to the, like last time, when it was announced, there's a sudden rise of nearly 10% move in just 2 trading sessions. Maybe they do not want any that kind of thing to happen. So hopefully, smoothly markets turn around. So this year, the worst performer in the world markets is Indian markets. So maybe that is the time the government has to act. So leaving that aside, so other things are, still bearish. Things may change in future, but as of now, everything looks bearish. But I still somehow feel that the recent low of 24,335. So that may be held at least until the end of this August expiry. August expiry, there are only 8 more trading sessions. So last week Independence Day, 1 day holiday. So therefore, this week expiry, only 4 days. And next week, Ganesh Chaturthi, so 1 day is a public holiday. So therefore, again, only 4 more trading sessions. So 8 trading sessions, and let us hope markets, take support around 24,300 level, the recent low. The high should be if this GST news is taken seriously by FIIs, and then if there is a unwinding, a short covering happens, then it can go 25,000 very easily. This news has come on Friday morning, but Friday night in US markets, Infosys, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, all are higher by more than 1%. And Thursday our market traded, so the Thursday's price action has been factored in by Thursday night in US. But Friday there was no market here, so the Friday night why these stocks have to go higher. So these stocks went higher mainly because of this GST announcement in the Independence Day speech. So there is every possibility tomorrow market may gap up at least by 80 to 100 points, and then if the short covering sets in, so markets can go anywhere. So until this GST news is being factored in by the market, so the markets tend to be more bullish than bearish. So that is my view. So anyway, I'm looking of Nifty to trade between 24,300 and 25,000. So in the next 4 trading sessions. But if 25,000 is crossed, then psychologically that will give a big boost for bulls. And if everything goes well, the Nifty may take out all-time high, around Deepavali time. So, usually our markets peak out around Deepavali time. Then after that correction sets in. But this year, markets are too bearish, so any, this GST news. But again, we have to wait for nitty-gritties. Say, for example, for sports utility vehicles, they say now it is 50%, 28% GST plus 22% cess. So if the 28% has been reduced to 18%, then if they say 18% plus 32% cess, the overall impact will be still be the same. So we need to see we have to wait and see. So what is going to happen? So then after that clarity, maybe market may have some further upside momentum. So hopefully Nifty will test 26,000 and maybe all-time high, maybe in the next 2 to 3 months. So it is time to have some kind of a bullish view on our market. So this week, it's going to be, like sideways with positive bias. So hope you enjoyed listening to this audio. Thank you for listening.